Hi there, welcome to day 62 of our Supersize You annual challenge. This whole month, we're focusing on financial health and well-being, or money, as the sign says. Money, 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 money. Why? Because next to confidence, it's probably one of the areas of the life framework that gives us, I don't know about you, but it gives me the most challenges. Most people, if you ask them, would say, yes, I want more money flowing into my life. So that's what we're going to talk about this whole month. Today's topic is the importance of having an emergency fund. The question for you right now is, do you have an emergency fund? Does it have 6 months worth of living expenses in it to give you a sense of security so that you know if something happens, because often life happens and gets in the way, that you'll still be okay. Now, for my businesses, I always have an emergency fund. We set it up initially. We set up a special high yield account, savings account for that. And we automatically start generating and depositing 10% of our profit until we get up to a 3 to 6. And new business will get up to 3, but I want us to get up to 6 months as soon as possible. And I challenge you to do that for yourself as well. Calculate what your monthly overhead and expenses are. What do you need? And not all the fluffy things. I mean, if you had to, you could cancel your Netflix account, right? If you had to, you could cancel your Amazon subscriptions to have things delivered automatically to your house every month, etc. So we looked at those yesterday as we were looking at our income and expenses. And today we're saying, okay, do I have a backup and a financial sense of security, or am I making decisions and choices based on lack, scarcity, desperation? I'll tell you, I've been desperate a few times in my life and made decisions based on that versus based on what is really right and what is strategic for me at the time. I will be the first to admit I do not have my personal emergency fund up to 6 months right now. Why? Because I help my kids with some things, and I'm in the process of automatically depositing and building that back up again. Why? Because it's just like insurance. It gives us this sense of security that no matter what happens, we're okay. We've got ourselves covered. And when you have that underlying knowing, you can make decisions and choices that are for you instead of ones that you just feel like you have to make at the time. It's why we stay in jobs too long. It's why we get hooked up with and align ourselves with the wrong people. It's because our mindset and our thinking and our energy and our vibration and all those woo-woo things that people pretend they don't care about or want to talk about or know anything about have an impact on us, whether we believe them or not. So, emergency fund. First question, do you have one? Yes or no? And if not, let's talk about it in the comments below and say, why not? I don't have an emergency fund of 6 months of my operating expenses or 6 months of my life expenses because, boom, and I shared mine because I was helping out my kids with the legal situation. So, but again, I said, I'm building it back up. Every month I put money in there until I get back up to the 6 month amount. Okay, so what happens and why is this important? I find it's important for me, just like having insurance. I will be the first to say, I don't like insurance. I think it's like legalized gambling, which it really is. And I'm not a gambler, right? I want to know that things are true and right for me or my life or my businesses. But I also am not stupid. I have insurance, right? We have health insurance. We have insurance on our cars. We have insurance on our assets, our homes and things. And if we don't, we sure as heck ought to. I have an umbrella policy for my businesses. So if anybody tries, or if anybody were to be harmed in any way by anything that I do, I've got an umbrella policy that covers me, which means I have this sense of security, an umbrella of protection against the rain. Okay, that was just too much for me even this morning. House full of sick kids, and so it's been a week. I'm hanging out, babysitting my 2 youngest granddaughters while their parents are on their anniversary celebration. And so, of course, they get sick. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about, and my question is, what is the last decision that you made out of desperation because you felt like you had to do it? And if you had an emergency fund like this, would you have had to make the same choice or the same decision? I am the same way. You know, we all go through ebbs and flows in our life. I've had to make decisions out of desperation, out of this needs to change. It's life and death desperation decisions. And so if we can do some things to help us to not have that little black rain cloud around us or over our heads, I believe that we should do that. So today, I challenge you, if you do not have an emergency fund, to at least open an account. And then if it's possible, probably is for most of you, to deposit, even if it's $10 a month, $5 a month, whatever it is, start building that fund up and have it automatically deposited every month. You know what? Even if you're on Social Security or fixed income, you can do this. But I challenge you to start that today. And then when you get to 6 months, an amount that's equal to 6 months of your living expenses in there, then you can stop doing it for a while. But as soon as you tap into that for an emergency, a car repair, a house repair, the wash machine breaks, the dryer breaks, the refrigerator breaks, anything like that. And you might have insurance for that. You might have homeowners protection insurance for that covers all those kind of things. And if you do, great. If you don't, that's the kind of thing you might have to tap into your emergency fund for. If you have a health challenge, I dropped dead one day and did not have the proper all of the emergency things in place back then. That was, 16 years ago. And I did not have these in place. And so in addition to having to recover from something like that, lucky that I did wake up and decide to still be here. But that was probably one of the most challenging times of my life because I needed to take care of all those medical expenses as well as building up an emergency fund to know that it is so, so important. All right. Any questions about this? Hit me up and ask. Otherwise, that is our topic for today. We're going to jump into the SOAP framework in the next few days about our financial health and well-being. I will decide usually about the first 2 weeks of the month we talk about the SOAP framework. So I want to make sure we cover it every single month, as well as our super framework will do the last 5 days of the month. Just a little heads up there. And then I've got some financial tools I'm going to add into the challenge that have been so powerful for me. I want to make sure that you at least have access to them. And they're not paid tools, any of them. They're just tools and decision making and things like that you can use to make every area of your life better, but especially finances. All right. Have a great day. And I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.